Christian Deconstruction, Day 14 with my Advent calendar. Let's go. I've been avoiding talking sex and the church because it's just so awkward, and the reason it feels so awkward is there's so much avoidance about having real conversations about sex in the church. There's a bazillion directions where we need to and should and can and will take this conversation, but let's start at the very, very basics. You're a sexual person. You have sexual feelings. It's part of what makes you a human being. It's part of our biology. Even if you're asexual, you will have some relationship to sex. And anytime we repress a part of ourself, repress part of our voice, repress part of our authenticity, we are going to be in trouble. And when sex is viewed with such narrowness, we're going to be in trouble. Because we're not a narrow people. We're not all the same. We're not all heterosexual. We don't all want to have children. And many of us express ourselves sexually in so many different ways. And everything except this very one way is vilified. And not only does it get the church into trouble because people end up using sexuality for power, for control, or it's coming out in very inappropriate or weird ways, and it's a destructive force rather than the life-giving force that is just a part of what it is to be human. And even on a more personal level, it wreaks havoc. It wreaks havoc on personal relationships, on the relationship you have with yourself, of like self-pleasure and self-discovery, and the relationship you have as you're growing up and discovering that you're a sexual being and sexuality is a part of all relationships. And I think as a society we got into trouble, especially in the 90s with Bill Clinton, of like there's only one, like I didn't have intercourse with that woman. There's only one way of having sex, and what a disservice that is, because sex is a continuum and it is a conversation and it is part of a relationship. And anytime sexuality is removed from the personhood, we deny a part of ourselves. We deny a part of who we are, and we feel shame, and we give other people shame, and it's just utterly, utterly destructive. So before we get into like talking about sexual abuse or about gender in the church or about homosexuality and how that has been so vilified, we need to have these baseline conversations about this is a human aspect of what we are, and to deny it is just foolhardy. And with that, I'm running out of time. Let's eat our waxy chocolate. Okay, breathe.